Talking Scheetz brought to you by Canadian Power Pack Solar. That's right, the solar division with Canadian Power Pack. They are Canadian.
Yes.
And you know what? We didn't consider solar until about a year ago, and it just seemed to be a no-brainer. With all the government incentives, you can get up to $40,000 interest-free as far as a loan goes from the Canadian government. So we did some investigating. We got some prices. Canadian Power Pack Solar came in thousands upon thousands of dollars less than anybody else. They did an incredible job.
It looks great.
It looks great.
Yeah, I feel like some people are nervous about the
Aesthetics.
aesthetic. Yeah, but they're sleek. They're like they don't stand out
They're
too
black.
much.
No,
Yeah,
they actually
look nice
they
on the
improved
house.
both of our houses, right?
Yeah,
the actually look of them. And now when when the summer's on and the long days and the sun is shining, we're actually generating more power than we can use, so we're becoming solar farmers. She thinks my solar panels are sexy.
Wow, solar farmers. And
Yeah.
you said you wouldn't go back to the farm.
No, exactly. That's what we're doing. Canadian Power Pack Solar. Tell them Talking Scheetz sent you. They will save you thousands upon thousands of dollars. They'll do an incredible job. And we just love for you to do that too, all right?
Yeah, it's good for us.
It's that simple. All right, Canadian Power Pack Solar. It's been a day getting ready for this.
An evening. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it feels like a day. It's been so much. But
Episode 25.
Yeah.
We've made it. Barely.
yeah, why am I sweating? We'll tell you right after Dad.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking sheets.
Talking Scheetz. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you'll see myself in what I thought were gray shorts.
Yeah.
They're
Ooh,
green.
Your shirt is gray.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I feel like my shirt's green and my shorts are gray.
Oh, wow.
It's the opposite.
Okay, yeah. Have we ever addressed your color blindness on the show?
I like to call it color deficiency.
Okay, sorry.
It sounds a lot more
to be
serious.
sensitive. I should be sensitive. I don't know if we've ever talked about it.
I don't know if we have either. But yes, I've been colorblind my whole life.
Yeah.
And I think we have. Have we not talked about the fact that I got the gene from my mom's dad? My grandpa George was also colorblind and also an incredible man.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with being colorblind.
Despite his ailments,
you become
yes.
incredible. It's just the way
It's
it
a
goes.
superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
Color blindness.
They say some people that you lose your hearing and all of a sudden your sight becomes
your
better,
other senses.
or your other senses, or your smell. Yeah, with color blindness, you just become one hell of a good guy.
Your personality really.
Yeah.
I mean, you both have big personalities.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
But because I have color blindness, you have
tetrachromacy.
exactly.
Yeah, our friend Dr. Andrew Crine, the optometrist
From
Devon Eye Clinic.
all right, free first plug's free.
Oh yeah, wait till I'm rocking my new glasses on an episode coming up. I haven't got them yet, but
Okay.
very excited about that. Devon Eye Clinic.
Yeah. Second plug is also free.
Quite a few years ago, when we were talking about your color blindness,
Yeah.
Andy was in school for optometry, and he had learned about something called tetrachromacy, which basically means that you can see more shades within a color.
Right.
So if two colors are, you can see more colors essentially than other people, and often the firstborn daughters of colorblind.
I don't even know
daughters?
firstborn, but it's daughters.
I can't remember the genetic.
No,
again.
I believe it's daughters.
Yeah.
But the reality is, so because I lost the ability to see shades of color, I just passed it on to you doubles.
And if you know me, or if you have seen me or visited my Instagram page
Right.
or at my home,
Yeah.
it's quite apparent that I have a knack for color.
Yeah, you love bright, vivid colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, I
No
guess.
problem.
And your
So-
shorts, I'm always here to tell you what color your outfits are.
Yeah.
Your shorts are green.
So my loss is your gain.
I guess so.
I guess that's the way we'll look at it. And there's a very good chance that if you have a son,
Was it only my firstborn son, or if I have a son
they
in
said
general?
firstborn, but that doesn't make sense because how would that be determined, right? Like you just never know.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a chance that if you have a son,
they will be colorblind.
they will be colorblind, and then if they have a daughter, they will have super duper
tetrachromacy. Yeah,
exactly.
it's a very interesting.
It continues
Interesting thing in genealogy. We're teaching the audience something new today.
on. Yeah,
We might be completely wrong.
I always thought that because I was colorblind or color deficient, that I should get a handicap parking sticker. But my doctor said no.
Well, I do actually, like when it comes to traffic lights.
Let's just move on from that.
Is it an actual? Can you tell the difference between the colors of the traffic lights?
The only way I can tell the difference, I shouldn't admit this, but the only way I can tell the difference between orange and red is that if I see one of them,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if it turns again right away, then it must have been
Well,
orange.
and also the positioning
Exactly.
of it, right?
They're in the middle.
Yeah, so
But
they do
sometimes
that
in
for
the
you.
dark, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? The bottom line is,
I mean, I think that you treat green and orange the same
yeah.
in a traffic light setting, and I don't know if that's your eyes or your soul.
That could be. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Episode 25.
Yeah, producer Renato was talking about before the show how shocked he was that.
Who, by the way, positioned himself with a microphone in front
I
of
know
him
it.
just in case.
Do you want to do a mic check on that or?
Is this one working?
Yes,
Oh,
that one's
yeah.
working. There
Okay,
it is.
he's just in case.
He's standing by.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
need to fact check anybody.
he's got the guns out. He's sleeveless, and the mic is there just in case. But he was saying before the show that he's very impressed that we have made it 25 weeks straight with no breaks and almost no like real glaring issues in terms of like production. When you think about our lives, I have a 10-month-old now, a very needy dog. If you're watching the show,
She's on your lap.
if you're watching the show on YouTube, she's been on my lap this whole time. She's being a very good girl though.
Yeah.
We didn't know we didn't know how she was gonna. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Don't count your dogs
and-
before they hatch.
And your life in the last 25 weeks has gotten
Lots of vacation, right?
well,
and so
vacations and work, and there's a lot of things that were a lot of moving
Oilers.
parts. Yeah, the Oilers.
But we've managed to do it 25
Yeah.
weeks in a row, rain or shine.
Yeah,
And I was actually meeting with our good friends at Arcan RV, First Plug Free, and they were asking about the podcast. And I said, you know what, guys? Honestly, I said to Rob and I said to Sarah, it's like my favorite hour of the week. It really
yeah.
is.
I think like we've talked about before, getting down here
Yeah.
is always kind of stressful and
Yeah.
hectic, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But then once we do it, it's
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy editing it and the posts and stuff. I think that it's gone really well so
Yeah.
far. I feel like we sort of started it with not a ton of planning, and we were like, let's just try it.
Yeah.
And 25 weeks in, feeling pretty good.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Continuing to gain traction, and we just thought we'd give it a shot, and I'm glad we did.
Yes.
But now we're down here in our special little room. I am sweating. You're sweating.
Yeah.
The whole family is sweating
Yeah.
because of your 10-month-old. She came to our house, and I used to always think that people that said, "Oh, when the baby would get upset, they'd be like, oh, it's just tired." And I thought, okay, well, that's just an excuse for a bad baby. But there is a lot of truth in that. Sometimes when they don't sleep,
you can tell when they're tired.
yeah,
Like it's a
like
different.
demon.
There are times when Leona is like, oh, she's just kind of being a bit fussy, and
Yeah.
then there's times when you can see it in her eyes are red.
Her head twists around and she's throwing up pea soup. It's really something.
She's a very, very good girl most of the time.
Yeah.
But she can turn on a dime.
So everybody took a shot at trying to put her down before
Yeah.
before the podcast started,
It,
and yeah,
she snapped for a total of 20 minutes today, which
Yeah.
is not enough for
sleep
a
training's not
baby.
going well.
Well, it's not even sleep training.
No,
it's
I know.
just like if she needs to go to sleep, she should. Usually, our kind of MO is like, oh, the baby. I can tell when she's tired.
Yeah,
Put her to sleep.
exactly.
Today, she's just not feeling it.
It's sunny. It's summer.
She knows
It's-
that we're having a good time
and
out there.
all she keeps doing is when we take her into the room. So Grandpa finally took her in there. I took her in once.
Yeah,
then
we
you're-
all took a shit.
Your husband came in and tried to relieve me for 2.5 seconds, and then we all took a shift. Then I came back for a second time. But when you get her in the room, all she does, is you're rocking her and holding her, is pointing to the door, like
Yeah,
out,
out now.
get me where the action is.
Yes, but then she comes out in the action and she's tired and grumpy.
Right. So I finally laid her down on the bed, and I started doing haba, as we call it in Ukrainian, and it's basically, if you're watching on the YouTube, which you should,
Yeah.
basically I was just caressing the top of her head and going haba, haba, and it like hypnotized her, and her
Yeah.
eyes closed and plunk.
And you were like, again, to say the 6th person to take a shift. So
Right.
like she had tuckered herself out.
Okay, you're not going to give Grandpa credit?
I think that she was it was her time.
I think that
It was you magically.
haba
Why
worked.
didn't it work the first
I'm
time?
like Wayne Lee, the hypnotist. First
Okay.
plug free, Wayne.
If we could get hypnotized on the podcast,
You know what? We got to get Wayne as a guest.
That would be something.
Yes.
A hypnotist podcast. I have a lot of questions about that. Actually, I've never been hypnotized before.
Okay, Wayne's a good friend, and I
Okay.
guarantee you, he's very busy, But I'm scared to bring him in because, to be honest, I mean, the man is he's the same age as me. And he is just like one of the sexiest men alive.
Wow.
You don't know that?
No, I don't think I know
Oh
who
my
he
gosh.
is.
Oh, no wonder he hypnotizes people.
Ah,
I just don't want your mother to get hypnotized.
we got to get Care out of the house before the hypnotist comes here. You never know.
Wayne's happily married. He's a great dad, but he is damn good looking. And I'm not just
Okay.
saying that because
You
I've
get
been hypnotized. Hubba, hubba, hubba.
hypnotized by his eyes.
Yeah, but anyway.
So you finally got the baby down.
Yes. And that lasted a good
15, maybe.
maybe 18 minutes.
Maybe 18 minutes, which honestly was more than I thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I did what I could.
it is what it is. They're
She's
upstairs.
up now, waiting for screaming.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for if you've listened to all 25.
Yeah.
Reach out, comment. To our Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. Just hey, you're what we call them, Scheetz heads.
Yeah, the Scheetz heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some. If you've been here along the whole journey, thank you for listening.
All right.
There's more to come. More guests. More. I feel like we're
I think we're booking Wayne Lee.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got people coming up, so it's exciting.
I cannot wait for you to meet Wayne. But I got hypnotized once
Yeah.
on the air, and I think it was Wayne, and he told me that I was Garth Brooks, and I started to cry on the air because I had just gotten divorced from my wife,
Oh my gosh.
his wife, Garth.
Yeah.
And I went into a real dark place.
Wow.
Like,
Wait,
I
you
wasn't-
didn't start singing.
I was not happy, Garth. I was sad, Garth.
Wow. Wait,
Yeah.
you.
I couldn't remember that I was now with Trisha Yearwood. I would have been happy. then,
Yeah.
right?
I wish you would have sang.
Yeah. No, I was sad. That's the only time I've ever been hypnotized that it's worked. So I didn't think people with ADHD could get hypnotized.
Yeah,
'cause they
I
can't
feel like it
concentrate
wouldn't
long
work
enough.
on me. I feel like I've just got too much going on. Yeah.
Okay,
I feel
it's
like
happening. I gotta
producer Renato.
just yawned on the
Yeah.
right on the podcast.
Yeah,
I
he
should have
did.
turned his microphone down.
that
Okay,
man lives half hypnotized all the time. if you want a mic, my dude, you can't be yawning.
I thought he turned it off. My bad.
I hope that's probably a statement of what was going on.
Yeah, I guess we should move on.
It's like yawn alert.
Yikes, that is not. That is, and also, honey, I don't know if the mic is picking this up, but she is snoring in my lap. So we've hypnotized the audience in the wrong way so far. We're 13 minutes in.
Such a bad sign, isn't it?
Yikes. Okay.
I love your husband. Like Shirley, I love your son.
Yeah.
But him with ripped off sleeves
I don't know.
annoys me. I don't know why.
I don't know what got into him today,
Yeah.
but he came upstairs and was like, "Babe, I cut my sleeves off." I was like, it's summertime, I guess. It was like the summer has began. He started ripping his sleeves off of his shirt.
And he's doing that really annoying thing where he's crossing them and then he's using his hands to
yeah.
make his muscles look bigger.
Yeah, we hyped up his physique in his
Which is,
guest
he's got a good
episode.
physique,
Yeah.
and his pipes are all right, but I don't need to see him, and I don't need to see his armpit hair.
Yeah.
So it's just
Well,
one of those things.
and he doesn't need to be yawning into the mic.
25 episodes in, and
He
we're
begs-
nailing it.
He begs for the mic for this long, and this is. You need to understand the etiquette involved.
All right, say one more thing, and then I'm turning you down.
I didn't think the mic was on.
Say hi.
I'm sorry.
Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right. Anything else?
No. But mostly the reason I yawned was because we're all tired from trying to get Leona to sleep.
Yeah, no, like she did.
It's nothing about the show. You guys are great.
She kicked the crap out of all of us, all
It's
six
like-
of us
it is-
in this household.
When I was in there, I was thinking to myself, I have never wrestled an alligator, but it has got to be easier than trying to get her to sleep.
Yeah,
It has to be easier.
she is a FOMO baby.
Yeah.
she just
But the way she like arches her back
and she's so strong.
and kind of swings her arms
It's like
at you.
it's a bit of a sturgeon. Like it's like reeling in a. I've never reeled in a sturgeon,
It
but I
is
know
like reeling in a sturgeon.
it is like that. Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
All right. School's out for the summer.
School's out for the summer. Sleeves are off.
Yeah. We're ready to go.
It's the summer vibe.
We're ready to go. I'm turning down his mic in case he burps or something. School. Yeah. You remember what it was like those final few days?
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, it's been a while, but
yeah, it's been a while now, but the first day of school, I feel like for you and Mom were always so excited to have us home, which isn't
100%.
always the case for parents. I think some
100%.
parents are like, "Oh boy, full-time parenting."
we all
going
got to
on."
sleep in. We were excited.
Yeah, and I remember you guys being so excited that the energy just kind of, and I remember being in the classroom in June and kids just being feral. Like
Yeah.
you're not learning anything
No.
in June. The sun is out. Every day's an outside learning.
Yeah.
And I feel like you always, at the end of June, and maybe that's why producer Renato cut off his sleeves.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always like an energy coming. And it's like, even when you're not in school, the end of June signifies like the start of summer. Even if it's been nice out for a few months or whatever, it's like, okay, this is it.
That's a great point. I don't remember, I don't know about you, but certainly my generation in Thorsby, we would take our baseball gloves every day, hoping that Mr. Oswald or one of our teachers would say, hey, we're going to play baseball today instead of class. And it was just the best.
Did that ever happen?
Oh, lots of times.
Oh, see, I don't think
Yeah.
we ever got
Yeah.
to play baseball
More
instead
often
of
than
class.
More often than
that
not.
explains your education. It doesn't explain why you're not very good at baseball.
No, I should have been better at baseball, but now you know why I can't spell. It kind of makes sense. But I say this, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but this is the reality. When summer ended when I was a kid, the work started for me.
Yeah.
Like literally on the farm.
Yeah.
Literally.
So it would be school and farm work.
Instantly.
Yeah.
We would get done at the end of June, and we'd start cutting hay at the end of June. And it was just, again, I would not have asked for a different life. It made me the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, I didn't really like school, but I couldn't wait for it to start again because that meant a little bit of a break from the tractor seat.
Right. So
Right.
so all summer you were in the tractor.
All summer except for rainy days.
Yeah.
And I've said many times in my life, even now, if I wake up and it's raining, I feel this incredible relief feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be farming today.
Right. You're like, oh, it's a day off.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, and then our parents, in particular my father, would, if it would be, they'd see a forecast that was 5 or 6 days or 3 or 4 days of rain. Your grandpa Rolly would say, we're going to Fairmont. And, mom would just throw some stuff in a suitcase and off we'd go to go on a little bit of a vacation in the summer. And we'd usually get to do that once or twice a summer on rainy days. So I loved rainy days, and I still love rainy days.
But you love sunny days more because of your Canadian Power Pack
Solar
panels. And you're a sun farmer now, as we talked about.
And I am a sun farmer
at the
now.
very beginning, as you thought you'd never come back to the farm, but
I never dreamt that I'd be farming again.
sun.
Just collecting those rays all day long.
So now you hope for sun. It's different.
Exactly. Now rainy days make me sad because I know I'm not going to get more to push into the grid.
Yeah.
So, so we don't have to have a power bill, which is fantastic. Canadian Power Pack, hook them up.
There you go.
Okay.
It all ties in.
Yeah, so that's school, out for the summer. You kids never went to camp. Like a lot of kids have the camp memories where they'd go to band camp or horse camp.
Summer for me was just like hanging out with the family a lot. We didn't often leave.
Yeah.
And just sleeping in. That's a big one. It was like, okay, all family gets to sleep in now. Like,
yeah, it was so funny because your brother, when he got a little bit older, he wanted to be, he wanted a job. He wanted money. He always wants money. He's like Mr. Krabs from,
Which is
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He's like, I like money.
Yeah, he came out of the womb with a desire to work for money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like not at home, but for money. So
Yeah.
he became a corn cop for the Edmonton Corn Maze, first plug free.
I don't know. Corn Maze sponsor us. We're so close.
Dan and Jesse, good guys. Good guys.
A remote podcast at the Corn Maze would be interesting.
I've always wanted to do, I tried to do it with Matt from Kissin' that I worked with.
He's going to come up later again.
I wanted to do Naked and Afraid with Matt.
Oh my God.
You put him in the corn maze, naked, and he's got a certain amount of time to find his way out to his clothes. And if he doesn't get his clothes, he's got to
come out naked.
He's got to come out naked. And we ended up doing something with him, but I don't think it was completely naked.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do that with producer Renato, but he would love it.
Yeah. Matt didn't want his corn cob being shown, I guess. But yeah, Renato, oh my gosh. He is like a nudist just waiting to happen.
For the sleeves. It starts with the sleeves.
I feel like, I've never seen him nude yet.
Yet.
Have you ever seen me nude?
Too many times.
I apologize. You never know when it's going to happen.
You're just...
I don't want to walk around naked, but
no, but you just change. You'll just change your clothes.
I'm a lazy person.
Yeah.
So, and we've got a window that faces the other house, and if you're walking from that house, it's like literally a projection screen in our bedroom.
Basically.
Sooner or later, my daughter-in-law is going to see me standing there naked. I know it.
Yeah, you live too close together, and you are too careless with the nudity. And it's just
Like I'm
you're-
not a nudist.
No.
Like I would shower in a shirt
Yeah.
and shorts. I do not want to be seen naked,
No,
but
but
it just happens by accident.
You're often showering, like you're working out, and you're often sweaty, so then
Yeah.
you have to shower a lot. So
Yeah,
then there's
yeah.
a lot of
That's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
accidental nudity. There's a lot of it.
I don't know.
I apologize.
I don't know.
But
if-
like I'll even like hide my shame from Karen, and she's like, "What are you doing? Like we've been married for 30 years together for
but
40."
then your son-in-law, it's fine.
But then my son-in-law, he gets to see my shame all the time. No wonder he yawns.
I don't know if the mic is picking this up, but this dog is absolutely. Honey is on my lap,
Yeah.
as we mentioned. If you're not watching on YouTube,
Yeah.
snoring her brains out, and then out the other end,
Yeah.
farting. Like there is a exchange of gases going on here
But
on
then
my lap.
It doesn't make sense. They're coming out of two orifices at once. Like she
it's-
should be sucking in and pushing
It
out.
doesn't make sense, but it's like there's a lot of noises coming out here. So if you can hear it on the microphone, I promise it's not me.
All right. Got it. Have we talked about school enough? Carter at the corn maze, when he decided he wanted a job at the corn maze, I was sad. I'm like, Carter, are you sure you need a job? And Karen's like, what are you saying? I'm like, that'll wreck our summer if he's got a job because we have so much fun together in the summer.
Yeah,
So
we
you
just want to
guys-
hang out.
Did you ever want to go to camp?
Not really.
No?
I feel like we went to the river a lot, like the
Yeah.
Devon River, which
Yeah,
is
I know
really,
you
really
experience
nice.
things. I just wonder if you
Yeah,
ever
I don't
feel like you missed out because you didn't go to camp.
think so. I feel like we had our own little summer camp. Renato always says our family is weird because we just like hang out in a
Yeah.
way, like we just like to hang out. And so that really my summer memories are just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have I don't feel like I ever really wanted to go to camp. I hope Leona doesn't want to go to
L-
camp.
your life was
Although
like a
if maybe
camp.
it
She's
felt
got to
like
go
it.
to sleep camp.
Yeah, something. She needs to go to something. Nap camp.
Did you go to camp?
No, my dad wouldn't even let me stay at my friend's house overnight.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have sleepovers. You think I could go to camp?
Well, you had a sleepover with my daughter.
Yeah, but I was like 29.
Oh my gosh.
This is fun. See, Bailey, I'm not sure you were in the mood for this tonight, but
No, I'm
this is
so tired. I was like, we need to do this a different day. That baby almost killed me. And now
Yeah.
this is happening.
now this is. I'm glad we did it because it's so good. I hope everybody else is enjoying it at home. Yeah, we got to again. If you're listening to this on Monday, Tuesday will be Canada Day,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like we've been like highlighting Canada for many podcasts because
Yeah.
of everything that's going on with you know who,
Yeah.
the man that shall not be named. You know who. Okay, I'm getting over it.
Yes. Okay.
But what I'm saying is, we've been highlighting Canada and just
Mm-hmm.
the positive things about this great country that we live in.
Mhm.
And Canada Day memories for me. Producer Renato said, "Let's talk about what you remember your favorite Canada days." And certainly, my uncle Ewald lives in Millwoods, and the Scheetzes we used to. And they still do. They'd go and have a get together at their house in Millwoods, just very close to Millwoods Town Center. And then they had the fireworks there. And I also remember going to the fireworks as a kid in the River Valley with the high level bridge. Very first time I think it lit up, and it was just so exciting. So fireworks, Canada Day, not like July 4th in the States.
Yeah. Which we've seen before.
But I don't think as many people die from fireworks in Canada as they do
Not
in the
as
States.
many,
In
for sure.
July 4th, and many
I
people lose their hands.
don't think we ever went to the fireworks as a kid for Canada Day, like
No.
downtown Edmonton or anything. I have maybe it's a hot take, but I am not a fan of fireworks.
Really?
No, I just feel like they're loud. They're kind of scare me, and they're usually underwhelming. That's not to say that the city doesn't do a great job or
Right.
anybody doesn't do a great job. The only fireworks I love are in Disneyland. When there's
Yeah. You've
music,
probably been spoiled.
I think I've been spoiled by Disneyland fireworks.
Yeah.
And I like when there's music and a story.
Yeah.
And Julie Andrews narrates a beautiful Disney tale.
Tinkerbell shows up.
Tinkerbell shows up on the
Yeah,
castle.
that doesn't happen in Millwoods.
No.
Not typically.
No,
so.
but maybe we should go do something this year. Maybe we should bring Leona. Leona might love fireworks.
Fireworks, just that when random fireworks show up, when we're on vacation in Mexico, and then all of a sudden, boom! You
That's
you look.
exciting.
I'll never forget that one. You remember the year
Yes.
the fireworks
Year's
happened in New Year's Eve, in Watuco at the Dreams Resort, which is a place we've gone to many times. We were just basically on the edge of the pool, and it was just a beautiful New Year's Eve meal, and it was all great. And then they had the fireworks guns, cannons, like 10 feet from where we were.
Yeah.
And
they were going like right above our
well,
heads.
when they were setting up, I said, that can't be where they're putting those.
Yeah.
And the answer was they were. When they started going off and there was palapas were catching on fire, and it was crazy. So maybe that's another thing. Maybe you've got a little bit of PTSD.
They were happening above us. Like
Yeah.
it was not.
Yeah, they were that kind of stuff does not happen in Canada.
No.
There's no laws, no rules when it comes to fireworks in Mexico.
No.
But they were pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, when the ones that show up randomly, like when we Indigenous Day, we went by
Indigenous Peoples Day?
People's Day.
Yeah.
We went by Enoch, the Cree Nation, and they were having the fireworks there as we were driving by. And when you see them like spontaneous fireworks,
It's very exciting.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
You're like, there they are.
That's so true. But I feel like something when you're like waiting around for them and you're parked and you're in a giant crowd and then it's like 10 minutes of banging, I'm like, this isn't worth it for me. But you're right. Fireworks are more magical when they're spontaneous or in Disney.
Yeah. Or at Big Valley, they'd always go off
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And every time they would go off, this isn't funny, but this is a fact. They would go off, and people that had dogs at their campgrounds, because dogs hate fireworks.
Yeah.
Or, I remember our Lacey, she would just try to chase them. She wasn't scared of them. She was trying to chase them.
She wanted to attack
chase
them.
them down, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. But anyway, Canada Day. Happy Canada Day.
Mm-hmm.
And let us celebrate many, many more without becoming the blank, blank, blank state. Okay, there we go. And we're going to move on.
Yeah.
We got to talk hockey a little bit because the hockey draft happened. It's happening while we're recording this, just so you know. And we've been watching the first 29 picks in the hockey draft. First of all, there's some really interesting names of these kids.
Yeah, it's fun to look at the names. Actually, firstly, the crazy thing is
They were born
these children were born in 2007.
Right.
That feels like to me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And now these are fully formed,
Yeah. Tall,
7 feet tall, brunette
lanky,
men, children, adults. Like
all brunette.
I have never seen less hair diversity in my life.
Yes.
I know that like trends happen and but I feel like women and young girls are like, oh, they follow trends.
Right.
These boys,
Yeah.
my gosh, it's like copy paste. There's so many young brunette boys with the middle part and like the little bit of the like faux mullet going on.
Yeah.
They all just look. Maybe it's like me getting old and being like, all these kids look the same. But I feel like
No, they all look
they
identical.
look really,
Like
really
one
similar.
kid could have gone up for every one of them, put the jersey and the hat on from the team.
Yeah.
And because it looks like it's the same kid.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and
Yes.
over.
Yes.
What is going on? Do you have to
single-
look a certain way to have a certain haircut to get drafted in the NHL?
If you're a brunette white boy,
Yeah.
yes, it seems like they all look kind of they have the draft hair going.
Yeah.
The best is when one draft pick gets picked, they start going up, and then all the other brunette clones are hugging them along the way, and it looks like they're just hugging different fonts of themselves, and it's so interesting, and they look so tall but so young. It's I remember the good old days in the
Yeah.
draft when I would watch it and be like, oh, those are some cute boys.
Yeah, yeah.
And now
They're
I'm
born in
like,
2007.
those could be my children. My very tall children, brunette children.
Probably don't like napping either.
They do.
Yeah.
A teenage boy,
Yeah,
there's
we tried a
nobody that
kid.
naps more.
Exactly. But it was just kind of an observation.
Yeah.
So lots of the same looking kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drafted.
That's really the only hot take so far. And there's been only a couple interesting suits, but a lot of the suits look the same too. So they're
Yeah.
just all kind of copy paste.
Yeah. Yeah.
All business.
All right. All business.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of hockey, you had your first meeting about going back to work.
Yes, yeah, that time is coming. Actually, we had a question come through, and I didn't put it on the sheet because I wasn't ready to talk about it. No, asking when I was going to come back to work. Somebody had inquired about that.
Which
So
you work for.
I work for the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. If you listen to this podcast, you definitely have heard of them a few times.
Yeah.
As the social media manager, so I will be returning for next season, and just realizing now that the season is over, that the next time the Oilers hit the ice, I will be working is crazy. It's
Right.
really feels like it's getting real now that I'll be going back to work and my maternity leave will be ending. It's like a very bittersweet thing.
Yeah. You're tempered excitement. Tempered excitement.
Yeah, tempered excitement. I would say
Sorry,
that's
I was
true.
playing baseball a lot in Thorsby. Tempered excitement. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Would be the best way to describe it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I love my job, which is like a very lucky thing to say. And I don't
Yeah.
know that a lot of people feel that way. I really love it. So I'm excited to be going back to that. But then it's also leaving behind this year of just taking care of Leona and trying to get her to nap every day.
Right, right.
But it really is the most amazing thing, hanging out with her every day. We're lucky that there's a lot of schedule flexibility, and the way that my job works is like evening and weekends, and there'll be lots of Leona time as well.
It'll work. It'll work fine. But that year of maternity goes by quick.
Yeah.
And again, down in the States, there's you don't get months or a year. You get weeks. Like
It
really.
feels like I didn't have enough time, and it feels like Leona is still a baby to me, and yet I know that I should be so thankful for it too, because so many places don't have. Well, definitely one place doesn't have the same setup as we do, where women are able to. They'll be back to work, a month later, and putting a brand new baby in daycare, which is so sad for them.
Yeah.
So it'll be a big change, but a good change.
So it's easy for me to say it could have been a lot worse, but it could have been a lot worse, right?
Yeah.
Your mom had 6 months, and that flew by for sure, right?
6 months is just the year has been a very, very, very fast, but also so much has happened at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Londonderry Dodge. What we're going to talk about with Londonderry this week? I had some really good thoughts about the Jeep Wrangler that I have a chance to drive. Oh, the Jeep Wave. We were doing it the other night.
Oh, what is it? I don't think I know it.
The Jeep Wave?
No.
You don't know that?
No.
Every time you meet somebody else with a Wrangler, you give up the two fingers.
I've never owned a Wrangler, so it's like
two
the
fingers.
piece.
I do piece. I do the
Okay.
piece.
There's
And
also the Duckies.
the Duckies. The Duckies are cool too, because
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing. But it's so cool when you're just driving down the road. We were on River Cree and the road, and which another thing we should talk. We should talk
We
about.
should honestly that's who we should be reaching out to.
That's
pitch.
who should be sponsoring this
Yes.
show, is the River Cree Resort and Casino
Yes.
restaurant we went to.
We love it.
But if we mention it, then it's going to be too busy for.
You're right. This is like something we should gatekeep. Remember how I taught you what
Yes,
gatekeeping is?
gatekeeping.
Yes.
But let's not
We'll circle back on
diver.
that.
But we're coming home from that, and we were on the road, and we went like 3 Wranglers in a row, and everybody waves, boom, 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 and you just feel like so cool.
Exclusive club.
When your grandpa was a truck driver, the truck drivers would do the same thing. They would wave or they'd blink their top kind of their running lights when you meet another trucker, just to kind of say hi. So that Jeep is it is so nice. Again, we haven't established the color of it.
It's a slate blue.
I went into
Almost
went in to register it, and I told them it was green, I think. But yeah, slate blue, and it's just beautiful, and it's just so much fun.
It's great. The Jeep Compass Trailhawk, we have a SUV, and I've talked about it at length. It looks amazing. It's just such a great family vehicle. One funny thing that I noticed is it has all the bells and whistles in terms of like tech.
Yeah.
And so it's plugged into Apple CarPlay, which is a really great feature to have. And you can do so much. You can talk to Siri on your phone. You can basically run your phone on the screen and like talk to it, so you can be hands-free.
Right.
But one thing that was funny today, I noticed when I plugged in it knew first off that where I was going. It was like, oh, you usually go here at this time of day.
Yes. Mine does that too, and I'm like, weird.
So it says this is where you're going, but it called it work.
Yeah.
so my phone and the Jeep Compass Trailhawk assumed that my parents' address is work, and
What are you doing right now?
I'm working. So the Jeep Compass Trailhawk is smarter than me, because I wouldn't call it that.
That's AI. It's creepy. It's scary.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't think it's AI, but
Londonderry Dodge.
Yes.
Londonderry Dodge.
we love them.
We love them. Raylene and the staff there, they'll give you $10 off your oil change if you say, I heard it on Talking Scheetz, so they save you a little bit of money. And, of course, if you want to get a vehicle, Mitch, Jamie, and the staff there would love to hook you up. Londonderry Dodge, proud supporter of Talking Scheetz. We love them. First plug's free for River Cree. Again, this is not a paid thing, but
This was not on our list to talk about, but we have to now.
we do have to. Your brother, we talk about him, Mr. Krabs. He likes money.
Yes.
So he goes to the River Cree all the time to eat, because here's the deal. It's kind of like the Costco first plug's free.
Yeah.
Hot dog. It's kind of like a lost leader in a way for these places.
It gets you in.
It gets you in, and then you spend a whole bunch of money, obviously, at River Cree gambling.
Yeah.
But if you go in and you don't gamble, my gosh, can you ever save, like, they got like a
What is the
like a
producer
69 cent
Renato? What is the
breakfast.
restaurant called? Do you remember? Oh,
That's okay. They'll find it.
Okay.
It's the restaurant in there.
it's the main restaurant.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of restaurants though.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. They'll find.
The restaurant.
You know
The
what?
restaurant we
We
went
can't
to.
give you everything. We cannot hold your hand completely through this. You'll find the restaurant.
Yes, but-
because on Mondays
and Sundays.
and Sundays,
Yeah.
they have half price meals on most everything except steak and prawns or something.
It is like a massive menu of amazing options.
And the bottom line is, when you get your bill for like the 7 of us, because Leona now eats like a grown man,
Mm-hmm.
it's like bills used to be, like in the
Yeah.
like $100 for 8 of us to eat the
Yeah.
other night there, right? And everybody ate so well, and it was just so great. So anyway, there's a shout out for you. Again, we're not going to gatekeep this one because it's a really good deal, and it's busy because a lot of people have figured this all out. But it's
But if you see us there, you have to let us go ahead of you because we told you about it.
exactly.
Leona tried bannock for the first
Oh,
time at the
yes.
River Cree restaurant, and it was so good.
Yeah, there was 2 different
So good.
types.
Yeah.
One that was more like
Like a deep fried.
like a bread, and then the other one was more
Yeah.
like a donut,
Oh.
and it was like bannock. When I was a kid, we'd watch, and this would be for the 70s kids, watching Sesame Street, and they would make bannock on there, and they just had a big stick. You know, it was indigenous people. They had a big stick, and they put this dough on this stick, and they put it over the fire. And I would watch that on Sesame Street,
Mhm.
and I would be just like, someday I'm going to have me some bannock.
Yeah. Well,
Dean
at the
Brody's
river,
got the song with "Don't Panic,"
Yeah.
have bannock, or
Yeah.
how's this go?
baby, baby, don't
Bannock.
panic. I know how to make bannock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Exactly.
She loved it. It was delicious.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do some questions. You said to your mom that this was going to be a quick episode, and here we go.
I know.
But this is why it's so much fun. Like, this is why it's my favorite hour.
Yeah.
Because we get a chance to kind of, I get to scratch my whatever talking thing on a microphone, and
Yeah.
you get to,
hang
hang
out.
out with your dad. And
No, it's
farting
great.
dog
Yeah,
and
my
your-
farting dog. She's still. I don't know if you can even see it on the
your-
YouTube, but she's still just sleeping. She's so cute right now.
yeah, and then your greasy husband with no sleeves.
Greasy.
Would you not say?
He did shower today, as far as I know.
But does he look a little greasy?
Well, he's got the guns out. I don't know. He's summer Renato. We'll just let it happen.
All right.
did in honor of the 25th episode. I said we would answer some audience questions. We might not get to all of these now, but
Right.
we'll start.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
Rachel Ing5, our friend Rachel Ingram.
Is this the Rachel I know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we
Love
love
Rachel.
Rachel.
She's
Yes.
awesome. Yep.
She's one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
But her question, she had a first question about if we had watched the new Dallas Cowboys cheerleader show, which I have not.
No.
I hope you have not.
No.
But I do know that there's a lot going on with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders right now.
I know they got a raise.
They got a very well-deserved raise because they had been really, really underpaid for their work, and so good for the cheerleaders. Haven't watched it yet. I'd be interested.
Is she assuming it's good? Is it good? I mean,
I think the documentary is really good.
okay.
I've heard it's good.
There's probably a lot of crying going on.
Wow, the girls are going through it.
And I'm assuming most of them are blonde, the opposite of the hockey players
Well,
that were drafted.
That's the other thing is where are the blonde men?
Yeah.
Like there was none of those teenage boys. Are they dyeing their hair?
Yeah.
Where are the Swedes? No, none of the boys drafted were blonde.
And there were Swedes, and they didn't look like Swedes.
Blonde men are going extinct. You heard it here first on Talking Scheetz.
All right.
Anyway,
We haven't watched it.
No, we haven't watched it. But her secondary question was, "What's your favorite show right now?"
Okay.
We haven't talked TV in a while.
All right. Yeah. Now there's time, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not watching Oilers every second night.
Yeah.
You go first.
I've watched 2 shows recently that are actually very, very similar. 2 shows came out around the same time with kind of the same premise, and those shows are Adults, which is on Disney Plus. It's on Hulu, but for Canada, it's on Disney Plus, and then Overcompensating, which is on Amazon Prime. And both
Okay.
of these shows follow groups of like young 20-somethings just like living, which is honestly my favorite genre of show. It's just like people it's like they're both comedies with like groups of young people just kind of trying to figure it out. And Overcompensating focuses on Benito Skinner, his life story, which he's a TikToker and a comedian, and it's basically his recounting in a comedic way of him going through college. So it's very, very funny. And then Adults follows just a group kind of after college they all living in one of their parents' houses while their parents travel.
Okay.
So the parents are out on a long road trip, and all his friends just like move in because they can't afford to live in New York City. So they're all just kind of crashing in the house. And anyway, I love a good teen kind of young adult show. And I would say Overcompensating is a bit funnier, again, on Amazon Prime, but both of them are worth the watch. Leona and I enjoyed them.
All right.
I don't know if you would like them.
Okay. Leona and I the other day, her mom and dad are against screen time for whatever reason.
We try to limit her screen time
But
so that she
sometimes-
doesn't become an iPad zombie.
Sometimes you need it. And that we were watching Miss Rachel first.
Yes, which she loves.
She loved. And then, but secondly, I put on Toy Story with her.
Yeah.
And that's not, obviously that's nothing new, but she was just loving it. And I'm like, this is going to be so awesome because Grandpa's going to get a chance to relive all of these movies with his granddaughter. And we started with about 25 minutes of Toy Story. And,
I
we'll
can't
go from
believe
there.
that my daughter watched Toy Story without me for the first time.
I know.
We
So
do. We don't do a lot of movies and TV yet.
Yeah.
We will.
I told you, I feel like, especially when you and me were together when you were growing up, and that was a lot of time because your mom was working and she was working during the day. I was working in the evening on the radio. We would spend a lot of the day together. We'd go for runs together. Then we'd watch a lot of Barney together. And I feel like you've done very well considering you watched quite a bit of TV as a
But
kid.
I am a TV addict as
Right.
an adult. So,
Yeah,
but
but
that's fine. You're right.
I'm okay with that.
We don't watch a lot of movies, but we do listen to a lot of Disney music. So
Right.
she's very familiar with that. We play the Disney playlist on Spotify
Yeah.
every time, all day long. So many bangers. So,
Yeah. The other day when you were gone again, like you always are.
okay. I was either usually I'm going to physiotherapy or the dentist.
Hashtag pelvic floor.
Usually I'm just trying to still heal from 10 months.
You're never gone. I'm just joking, but yeah, your mom, grandma put on Phil Collins.
Oh yeah.
You'll be in my
The Tarzan
heart.
soundtrack. Phil
You'll
Collins
be in my
had no
heart.
business going so hard
Yeah.
on that Tarzan soundtrack. Years later, it's still those are amazing songs.
Yeah.
That's like one of the greatest songs of all time.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm watching Sticks. And because your grandma, my mom, said you got to watch it. It's on Apple, and it's Owen Wilson. He's an old golf pro, and he's working with a phenom and trying to get him to the next level. And Owen Wilson is one of my favorites. He's so funny. But I don't know, and far be it, especially if you're on YouTube right now, you can see me. But I don't know what happened to Owen Wilson's nose. It looks like it's been gone through a meat grinder.
Well, he's always had the crooked nose.
But I mean, it's like
maybe as he's aged, it's like gotten a little bit.
But I'm thinking like go to Michael Jackson's person or something.
Is that the advice? I think that as
Okay,
a
maybe
whole,
not Michael Jackson's or Kenny Rogers' person,
celebrities need to get less work done. I think it's nice
but
to see
it's
someone that's
his
real.
nose is distracting. Like it's distracting.
We're speaking in the presence of someone with a very many broken times nose.
Yeah,
He's
no.
gonna get his feelings
I broke
hurt.
my nose too. I mean, my nose, like I said, look at me. But it's
Okay.
His,
I haven't seen Owen Wilson in a while.
it looks like somebody grabbed it with something like a power tool and just twisted it like 3 times.
Wow. Okay.
But it's a great show.
Okay. And he's a great actor.
He is.
He's so funny.
You just got to get past his nose. You'll see it. You'll
Okay.
understand.
I
don't know what's happened, but
well,
something
I
happened.
think he broke his nose a lot of times.
Yeah.
And now it's just
Yeah.
hopefully he can. I'm more worried about his septum. Can he breathe properly?
Oh, no chance. No.
I'm living with
He
someone
breathes
with
as well as your French bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
But
can
he's
still
great,
hear.
and Sticks is great. I
Okay.
want to see the 4th and final season of Righteous Gemstones.
Oh yeah.
It's on
that's
Crave. I'm too cheap to get Crave, but I'm going to get
you
Crave.
keep trying to get into our Crave.
I know. I'm craving your Crave.
Renato says, "Oh, your dad wants our Crave account again, but you can't. There's no more users.
Which stinks.
No more users are allowed.
Which stinks. Okay. But anyway.
Maybe when you're babysitting, you can watch Righteous Gemstones.
I want to, but I'm too busy watching Toy Story because I don't think Leona would like a show about a TV evangelist, but it is fantastic.
She knows a good joke.
And George Canyon, country singer, when we were golfing, he was telling me this 4th year is mind blowing. And I said, oh my gosh, I laughed so hard at the other ones. He says, Chris, this is like next level. He said, promise that you phone me when you're watching it and we'll share some laughs.
Yeah.
So it's that good.
Danny McBride.
Righteous Gemstones.
He's so funny.
And John Goodman. Right?
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. And
I've only watched the first season.
Jennifer
I think.
Nettles is from Sugarland is on it
Yeah.
as well. Okay. Maybe one more question.
Okay, one more question.
You said Matt. Maybe.
Right, we did. Matt, we have the question is supposed to be anonymous, but it says who
Okay.
is your favorite co-host of all time, and why is it Matt DeBurse? And I won't say who that was submitted by.
Oh, Matt. I can't say. I mean, they're all. It's like
What
picking.
about the one that
picking
you,
a favorite
you
child.
raised and stuck in front of the TV
Well,
for hours?
That's definitely the one. But then that's going to make the others sad.
You love Matt.
I love Matt. I love Jack. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. But this is like the best. It really is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Matt would feel the same if he was working with Maxine. Matt and Maxine talking to Burrs.
Talking to Burrs, that's not bad. She's like pretty young now, but her time, she's adorable.
Yeah.
She's got a face for not the podcast.
No. She's got.
But Bo-
she looks like a
but then-
porcelain doll.
Bo DeBurse would have to mix the beat. He would have to make their jingle because he loves music and DJing.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's a family business for Matt.
I think that. Yeah. I think that would be a great idea.
I think as we talk again, we still can't stop talking about the Oilers, but as we look ahead, when this episode is released, it'll be free agency time, things
Right.
going on there. We can answer one more question
Okay.
from Christine Peterson.
Oh
She
yeah,
says,
Christy.
our girl. She
Yes.
says, if you could suggest one thing to Oilers management right now, just in the wake of the offseason and making moves and things like that and trades and signings, what would it be?
Simple. Hire Chris Scheetz. Don't trust him for any advice, but just pay him a lot and let him go to all the games in one of the fancy boxes. That's what I would do if I could recommend one thing to the Edmonton Oilers. I've always wanted to work for the Edmonton Oilers my whole life. I don't get to. My daughter does. Isn't that fair?
I think it's my suggestion to management was going to be give your social media manager all power,
Right.
and a ton of money, like
Yeah.
Connor McDavid level, like whatever you're pitching
About
to
sign
Connor right now.
About,
yeah,
16
fingers
million
crossed.
for 8 years.
I think like something similar
Yeah.
for the social media manager just makes sense.
I think you would even take, I'm not trying to be your agent here, but I think if he's going to get 16 million for 8 years, I think you'd take 3 or 4 zeros off that and still take it.
100%. Yep,
Yeah.
I would.
All right. Well, that is fun. Hey, thanks for your questions. We'll get to more of these as
Yeah.
the weeks go on.
We got so many, and I'm always like, oh, we're gonna have time to answer them all.
I love the fact that your mom said, I don't know what you guys are going to talk about this week.
She underestimates us as professional yappers.
It's my green shorts.
Green, see? Yeah, we learned something today. Honey slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. And Renato, give us one more yawn.
Even when we got nothing to talk about, there's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause there's something about you and me just sitting around talking sheets.